Like with every program that we have at Kamalaya, our Radiant Bliss program, the women's health program, is personalized to our female guests. So it is a program that we've created where we have pulled from naturopathy, traditional Chinese medicine, Thai traditional medicine, because the Thai culture has a lot of wisdom and practices for women's health, pre getting pregnant, post getting pregnant. I mean, it's incredible, very beautiful traditions. Of course, we're drawing also from functional medicine and gut health overall, and we're pulling from these traditions to create the skeleton of what the program would be depending on the length of stay. But then within that, the first level of personalization is where in the life cycle the woman is, the guest. The second stage is specifically what is she going through, right? Obviously, maybe her cycles are perfect, but they're painful. Maybe she's irregular and she only has cycles every 3 months. I mean, again, in the first phase. Same with the second phase, same with the third phase. We're not all the same, even though we can look at women's health in this larger way. So we have to identify what phase and then what specific things and the family history. It's very, very important. And then based on that, we're basically going to address that therapeutically. So there are treatments. There's not just hardcore like the naturopathic consultations or nutritional consultations or Chinese medicine, but the soft touch treatments as well, that are very, very helpful for women. For example, Kativasti from Ayurveda, where you're really warming and treating the adrenal glands, or one that's Lana massage, that's from Thai traditional medicine, which is we basically light the abdomen on fire, but you don't get burned, but it's a deep penetrating heat into the abdomen, but not for every woman. For some women, that would be contraindicated. And so we're drawing from the soft touch therapies, but that are very therapeutic, as well as the more intensive, holistic, complementary modalities. And in a short period of time, you can experience some of the benefits, but most importantly, you will get an education for what to do to better look after yourself as you move forward, in your life phase. So let's say someone wants to prepare to get pregnant. What can they do? I would recommend anytime a woman wants to get pregnant that she spend 3 months to prepare. Really spend 3 months to get your body in optimum health so that pregnancy doesn't wipe you out, because that baby will take priority. Yeah. And also gives the best chances for the baby. But let's say you've moved past that phase. How do I prepare for menopause? I'm 45. What can I do? That. And then, of course, I'm in menopause. What can I do? And one of the things that I really, really am very passionate about, Stella, is reframing menopause for women. In the West, it's dreaded. It's like, oh my God, it's like no one wants to say it. When I first used to try to talk about it in London ages ago, it was really a taboo word. It was like I had ones like, no, don't say that word, because it was like a death sentence. It's like you're invisible, you're withered up and dying, you're the crone. But menopause on a more symbolic level and a potentiality for women is the closure of one phase of life. Yes. You're not going to be getting pregnant and having babies. And most or many women will have raised their family at that point, or very nearly raised the family. So the closure of that, or the transformation of that, the children leaving the nest. But while it is an ending, it's also the opportunity for the most profound metamorphosis that a woman will ever go through, other than being pregnant and having a child. So it is that possibility which I would like to highlight for women going into menopause, because it's available if we can reach for that, if we can envision and want that. But it's not going to be made available that way by society. That's not the view at large. And understandably, because it's not really the fruit-bearing stage. But it is a time when we as women get to do it for us now. Having given all that care and love and attention and energy to family, now we get to give it to ourselves. And I know my 50th birthday was such a liberating birthday. I can't even tell you. I was levitating. I was exhilarated. And it was really that thought, now I get to do it for me. You know, I had birthed Kamalaya. I have this marriage with a magnificent man. And I have spent a lot of time making sure he survived a life-threatening disease as well. And I've given a lot. And all of a sudden it was like I became aware of the fact that now I get to start to give it to me, more to me than I had ever before. So I want to encourage that thought that it's a rebirth, a metamorphosis, or the potential for it if women want it.
It's so true. I've seen so many women transform and become much more vibrant and really know themselves as they go through menopause and come out the other end. Because you shared your responsibilities, and then you can start really focusing in on yourself. I think a lot of women still need to deal with that psychological thought that it's selfish, because that still lingers with so many people, and they're not willing to invest in themselves, or they see it as frivolous, and that's a whole different conversation. But absolutely. And I know as part of your program, the Radiant Bliss program, you include sessions with the mentors, right?
Yeah.
What's the thinking around that? Just tell us a little bit about your mentors and
yeah.
the thinking.
So our life enhancement mentors are all deeply trained, decades trained in I want to call it the science of the mind, the science of human nature. It is very much from the Southern Indian tradition of meditation, but it's much, much more than that. It's really understanding how our mind works. So you could compare it to like deep studies in Buddhism, but not religious Buddhism, rather the deep wisdom contained of understanding human nature and the nature of our mind. And the mind is a source of incredible wisdom and liberation and consciousness, but it's also the source of a lot of pain, shortcomings, feelings of being trapped, et cetera, et cetera. So our idea why we have included this particular, these sessions, is that depending on a woman's journey, she may be contemplating, do I want to have a family or not? Is this something? And if so, when? You know, these are big things for women. I remember when I was in that stage. And to what degree how can I balance my career and the desire to have a family? And where's it going to give? I mean, these are complex questions now. They used to be so natural and effortless, but it's not the case anymore. So many households rely on two incomes to make things work well. Not even mentioning having then children. So that's one set of questions, you know. Also career or career change that a woman in that stage of life, 40 to 50, perimenopause, it is very much, you know, a very challenging time for women. They're usually in the middle of the big strides in their career, at the same time looking after family if they've had a family, and sometimes even starting to have to look after parents. So it is a time of overload. What I see at Kamalaya, it's really, I now understand why women in India are depicted, the goddesses, with millions of arms, because those are women in their 40s, you know, like a myriad of arms juggling so many plates, you know. And so having the wisdom of someone who really understands human nature and our hearts and our minds, and having these deep, deep, deep conversations where you can explore what's true for you in a very, very safe environment with people who know how to guide you to find your truth, your clarity, your wisdom, with kindness and in a very gentle way, is invaluable. And then, of course, this transformative phase of the menopause is we all need support and help in that. So that's why we included the mentors, and they're very gifted. There's 4 of them, and they're very, very gifted. I work with them regularly. So does my husband, John. The feedback from our guests over the past many, many years now that they're with us is exceptional. So we thought women could use with this soul searching with a really gentle companion.